things in the sky right now. All the ones over here. There's two behind here.
There's two over there.
Yeah, look.
Expired. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Chairman. And, sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone up here. You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
The Bureau is actively investigating the situation you mentioned, just the unexplained sighting of drone activity over that part of New Jersey. We do not attribute that to an individual or a group yet. We're investigating, but I don't have an answer of who's responsible for that, of one or more people that are responsible for those drone flights. But we're actively investigating.
So aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
Is the public at risk? Is public safety at risk? Are we concerned that there are nefarious intentions that could cause either national security or a public safety incident that would put Americans at risk?
There's nothing that is known that would lead me to say that. But we just don't know, and that's the concerning part.
What's the White House message to the people up there who are frustrated that there isn't any information out?
And obviously, we hear them and we understand that. We are closely tracking this. We are monitoring the incidents that have been put forward and certainly made public. And we have two agencies that I've already mentioned that are looking into this, working closely with folks on the ground, trying to get to the bottom of it. I don't have anything more to share beyond that.
Things flying in the skies around us, and many know it. The questions are growing, but the answers are slow in coming. And this isn't about ignorance. It's about arrogance. An arrogance that fuels a lack of transparency. The government knows what is in the sky. And they know what is us and what is not us. And they know what we should be worried about. Which part knows? Depends on who you ask. Are they communicating with members of Congress? Clearly not enough. Why not? Now, those are the real questions. And I have guests tonight who will explain why this is the case and what has to happen to get those answers. Because let me tell you something. This answer from the National Security Council spokesman is unacceptable.
No indication at this time that it's a foreign adversary or a foreign actor. The FBI is looking at this. DOJ is looking at this. I know the Department of Defense. I can't tell you definitively exactly what we're talking about here. In some cases, the investigation has led to a revelation that it's actually manned aircraft and not drones at all.
Who's that knocking on the door? Oh, don't worry, it's not a monster. How do you know? Who is it then? You see what I'm saying? Unsatisfying. Now, he mentioned foreign adversary because a member of Congress said that high sources in the government told him they may be from Iran. Now, everyone I spoke to today, drones with that kind of range that weren't launched from nearby, doubtful. But then what are they? You see, the problem with the spokesman is he's too nonchalant. He's clearly not worried. If he isn't worried, it's because he knows things. But he isn't saying how he knows what they are not, and that's the problem. For instance, perhaps we're not shooting whatever these things are down because we're the ones flying them. Either way, people are worried. And last time I checked, government is tasked with allaying and explaining, not adding to confusion and fear. The latest reporting is about New Jersey. Some seeing car-sized drones. But that's not the only state. Heck, I see them all the time. Not the size of cars. But clearly, we are in a new era and we need answers. So what do you say? Let's get after it. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, she is on the House Oversight Committee, which held hearings on UFOs and UAPs, and to be honest, one of the few who took this seriously early. We have Christopher Mellon, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense, who specializes in unidentified flying objects, and Ryan Graves, former Navy pilot turned UFO whistleblower. Thank you to each and all. And just quickly, does anybody believe that I have it wrong and that this is some great mystery that nobody knows any of the answers to? All right, good. I'll start with you, Representative. How do you explain how you keep hearing that there are divisions of government that are involved in different types of undertakings, but they can't come clean, even with members of Congress, even with a special subcommittee, about what is in the air over New Jersey and elsewhere?
Look, it's unacceptable, and for them to undermine Representative Andrews' credibility in saying that he's talking to people that he does believe that these are drones from other nefarious foreign actors. I mean, it just goes to show, A, obviously they're checked out before the holidays and they know that they're leaving office, and so I believe that they're not really interested in finding out what's happening. And it's the unfortunate truth of what happens in Washington, especially when there's a new incoming administration. But to be clear, you know, what we're seeing right now happening, not just in the drone sphere, but I think on the topic of UAPs, is you're right, there has been a change in technology. And also with the fact that people can now record, you have devices, they can't really hide it anymore. So I think the Pentagon and the government as a whole is looking at how to address this to the American people. But there's no doubt in my mind that Representative Andrew was telling the truth. It's very likely that these are drones from foreign adversary. And if you don't believe that the U.S. government would cover something up, just look at how they responded with the Chinese spy balloon.
No, that's a good point. And look, you know this. You're in Florida. Mellon knows this. Graves knows this. A lot of these drones, like the ones we're showing right now, you see navigation lights on them. You see a red and a green. You know this from boating and down, so they have the same things. Aircraft are the same thing that boats do. They have a red and a green. So it's not like they're from some outer atmosphere. Let me start with you, Mr. Mellon. Do you believe that there are more and that it's understood and explainable?
I believe there are more. I think it's important for people to understand that this has been going on since at least 2017. Which is to say these smaller, brightly lit, drone-like vehicles violating restricted U.S. military airspace in sensitive areas around nuclear power facilities, nuclear weapons storage facilities. A year ago today, roughly, Langley Air Force Base was taken offline by drones. And that continued that was exactly a year ago this month. And that was about a year after there was a similar sort of pattern in the western United States for several months near some of our ICBM fields. So it's troubling that after all this time, we still haven't captured any of these things. We still haven't brought them down.
Do we know that?
Where they're coming from. We are really in a position of ignorance here, and hopefully this will maybe at long last, after all these prior events and the Chinese balloon, get some people to take a hard look at what do we need to do to get our hands on one of these things so we can get to the bottom of this.
Right. I mean, look, Chris, you know better than I do, but I don't know that they haven't gotten any of them. I would read it another way, just as somebody who's been in the business of deception detection for 25 years, that, that calmness of them being not concerned about it is usually a function of having information. And Ryan, you and I have talked many times about how many stories you've heard about what they did take down or what they found on the ground, and programs that use a lot of money to use special operators to go and recover these things. But SUV-sized drones, I can't find those on the commercial market. I've been looking for days. How do you explain that part? You think people just get the size wrong, Ryan?
Well, there always is some uncertainty when it comes to judging a moving object in the sky, especially at night and especially as a single source of light. But these things appear to be close enough to the ground where I think I have pretty high confidence in the size predictions that they're estimating, give or take 20%. But, these sizes and these types of behaviors are something that we've seen and we've talked about, Chris, over the years, starting at Virginia Beach, working its way further north into the Langley area, and perhaps now into New Jersey. I don't think we can conclusively say that they're inherently linked necessarily, but with the mixed messages that we're getting between the legislative branch and between the executive branch, it really feels like the Biden administration is gaslighting us on the seriousness of this issue.
New Jersey residents have been plagued by unexplained drones flying overhead. You can see tiny lights behind the trees there in the dark sky. Very hard to see. Officials don't know where the aircraft came from or what they're doing. Their proximity to some military facilities has been raising some concerns. New Jersey state lawmakers met with Homeland Security and FBI officials today for an update on the investigation. Gary Tuckman has more.
Questions abound about what these moving lights in the sky are, but there seems to be certainty about what they are not.
It definitely wasn't a plane because it was too low, and it was also going back and forth and then forwards and backwards.
Mark Taylor is the mayor of Florham Park, New Jersey.
They look like a small car to me. Their wingspans are probably 6 feet across.
What they appear to be are drones, clusters of unidentified drones, flying much lower than a plane would.
I think the creepy part is not that it's just a drone, that they're so large.
In New Jersey's Ocean County, sheriff's deputies took their own video of the drones.
We saw something flying a little low, so we took some video of it, and not really sure what it was. Definitely something flying low and fast.
Lower, faster, and larger than a recreational drone, says the deputy.
It was coming in our direction. It spun around, did 180 degrees, went back out the other way, then it kind of looped around and then took off past us.
Planes, they have, a white tail light coming from them, and each wing has a different color, whether it be red or green. Whatever it is, it's different.
Understandably, there is concern. The drones are occasionally flying near military facilities. But the Pentagon knocked down this social media post. New Jersey Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who claimed on X that the drones are, quote, possibly linked to a missing Iranian mothership.
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
But it's all still a mystery. Homeland Security and FBI officials in New Jersey have just met with state and local lawmakers. They and the state's governor have stressed the drones do not appear to threaten public safety. Nevertheless,
people are calling myself, my home. It's one of those things where they are alarmed.
It's definitely something, and we're just going to be looking into it a little bit more to see if we can figure it out.
And Gary Tuckman joins us now. So I understand the New Jersey State Police have made an announcement about the drones.
Right. The state police are saying they're about to receive some new technology from the federal government, drone-specific radar that should help in the detection. Right now, Anderson, we're in Hoboken, New Jersey, outside the train station. People coming home from a day of work in New York City, back to Jersey. Some of the people we're talking to are concerned. Most of the people, though, are just very curious. And if there are drones in the sky tonight, it will be virtually impossible to see them because here in most of the state of New Jersey, it is raining and visibility is very limited. Anderson.
Gary Tuckman, thanks so much. Our senior data reporter, Harry Enton, joins me now with more on the mysterious drones. You're usually the data guy. Now you're the drone guy.
I have never been looking more forward to a story in my entire life. Let me tell you why. Because, the bottom line is when I get into trouble, the first person I call is my girlfriend, okay? She's the first person I call. And in this particular case, I wanted to do some original reporting. And it turns out that
call her?
I called her. Turns out her mother has actually been filming some of the drones.
Really?
Yes, going over Morris County. I think we have some of the, there it is. Wow. We have some original video right there that was taken by my girlfriend's mother, Nancy. Okay. I think it's going to zoom in and you'll be able to see some of the drones that come in. She's zooming in, and let's see it come across the screen.
All right.
And what is so amazing to me about this was Nancy was just, when I went over for Thanksgiving, she just could not stop talking about these drones in the sky. She was so amazed by them.
Yeah.
And she was sending a ton of video to her daughter, my girlfriend. And what's so interesting is that Morris County, which is where Nancy lives and where my girlfriend grew up, it was one of the first sites where the drones were actually seen.
Okay.
And what's so interesting...
How long has this been going on for?
Yeah, this is what's so incredible, right? So you start off in Morris, you go all the way, and it's been expanding, including Staten Island, reports of Philadelphia. And how long has it been going on for? Look at this. We have been seeing drones in the sky now for 4+ weeks. The first reports came out, and we're talking about the amount of drones per night, upwards of 49+ drone sightings. So this is crazy. It's happening all over New Jersey, and there are a ton of drones. It's amazing.
But nobody knows what there are.
We have no freaking idea what these are, and that's what
Do we
makes
know
it
how
so amazing.
many drones there are?
Well, as I mentioned, we're talking about...
Are these all the same drones?
No, we have no idea. It's all a great mystery, and that's what's so amazing about it.
Possible that everyone from the New Jersey governor to the FBI have no idea what these are. Joining us now is my friend Evan Cutler, who witnessed one of the drones up close in New Jersey. He took some pictures as well. Evan, good to see you. So Evan described to me what he saw, and I said, you got to come on the show to talk about it. Evan, what did you see?
Well, I saw a drone. If it was a drone, who knows what it was, but it was not the drone you see people fly. There's the picture. It was the size of a school bus, literally the size of my 2-car garage. Well, I have a 1-car garage, the size of a 2-car garage.
And what happened when you saw it or you started taking pictures, et cetera?
Well, look, to back up a little bit, I'm coming home from On Patrol Live. It's 12:30 at night, and I get into Montclair, New Jersey, and I see the full moon. And I'm like, well, it can't be a full moon because the full moon was 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, it's getting closer and closer. And then first, I think it's a plane, then a helicopter. Then it's hovering right over the woods as you're entering Montclair. And it's a drone literally 40 feet wide by 40 feet wide, hovering right over the woods. I pull over, get out of my car, forget about the phone. I'm just like looking at this thing, wondering what the heck it is. Then I said, oh, I should take a picture. I grab my phone, starts the second it notices I'm out there, it just starts heading south. Grab the picture. The picture looks like a dot. It looks like, at the very most, like a Plan 9 from outer space flying saucer. But when I got a good close look at it, when it was only about 100 feet off the ground, maybe 150 feet off the ground, it looked like a drone on steroids, like literally a drone the size of a garage.
And you reported it to the authorities?
I got home. The first thing I did is I Googled. I went on X. I went on Instagram. I'm like, is this a thing? And I saw nothing except one little news report from Morris County Patch about some drones making noise and keeping people up at night. Nothing. So the next morning I called the FAA, I called the FBI, and still to this day I have not gotten a response from either of them.
Well, it's not surprising considering we just saw them in front of a House committee saying they don't know what's going on. But, it is
the one thing I got to say, though, is if for people like me who do see something that's unidentified, there's very little recourse. I Googled, what do you do when you see a UFO? There's nothing. I think that's why a lot of times these things go unreported. You have nowhere to go. And I'm a seasoned journalist. I know, I did some digging. I found out who to call. And to this day, it's, I've gotten no response.
It's weird that it's just happening in this one area of New Jersey. Maybe they're just monitoring you, Evan,
That was my first thought. And, and I do have my aluminum foil here if I do want to make a hat. That was what some people at On Patrol Live suggested. But, as ridiculous as everything sounds, I do have a teeny bit of credibility. I'm the president of the Montclair Bird Club. I'm used to looking at things in the sky. I've been a bird watcher since 4th grade. I spend my weekends at the Montclair Hawk Watch. I look at things in the sky. I know that's one of the things I'm good at.
Yeah, you're good at many things, Evan. Don't sell yourself short. Evan Cutler, thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. See you this weekend.
New Jersey are concerned and demanding information after a wave of mysterious drone sightings. But the government has yet to give any concrete answers. One lawmaker is calling for a state of emergency, while another has an ominous theory about a foreign adversary. Here's CBS's Tom Hansen.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity. Today, Homeland Security and state police met with some New Jersey officials, including Mayor Jim Maley.
I truly don't believe they have any idea where the drones are coming from.
Many still have questions, including Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who says individuals with high security clearance have a theory about where the drones come from.
Their concern is that a mothership has left from Iran weeks ago, coinciding about the time somewhere along the area of the United States. It doesn't mean they're right off the coast.
But in a briefing today, Pentagon officials dismissed the claim outright.
We have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
In Mendham, New Jersey, Olivia DiMattio's coffee shop is right near the sensitive locations where the drones have been spotted.
How big are these things? Are they different sizes?
They are the size of small cars, like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size. So it's not something that a kid is buying off of Amazon and flying around as a prank. Like, it's way, way past that.
And we're here in front of Picatinny Arsenal. It provides munitions products for all branches of the U.S. military. It's also one of those sensitive sites that these drones have flown close to. And Nora, both lawmakers we spoke to today say one of these drones needs to be taken down safely so they can get some answers.
Mystery deepens. All right, Tom Hansen, thank you very much.